Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article. It's from Business Insider. Now, this was published on December 20th. It's by Sinead Baker. Of course, they got to try to take the New York Times piece, this opinion piece here, 12 million phones, one data set, zero privacy, and focus it on Trump and go orange man bad, and he's got his cell phone, we should take it away from him, look at security concerns, and it's... Let's be honest. It comes down with them. They don't like that he has his phone and he's using fucking Twitter. And they're using this as a means to go, look at the security concerns. Wah. Like, take his phone away. It's so fucking hilarious. Because they were talking about people, like average people here. And then they brought up the fact of how a member of Trump's Secret Service, because one of the apps he had on his phone was tracked. And because of a quote-unquote whistleblower, who supposedly wanted to warn people, they took it and they tried to go that Trump way, but they didn't focus on it as heavily. This person, on the other hand, who wrote this, Sinead, she focused on it and went, orange man bad, take his phone away, security concerns. Like, that's what she kind of alludes to in this. Anyway, let's look at their bullet points here. The New York Times was able to track the movements of President Donald Trump using cell phone data. Technically, they were able to track a member of the Secret Service that was on his detachment. Let's be factually accurate. The Times said it used leaked phone data to track the movements of someone in his entourage, believed to be Secret Service agent, as well as found the agent's name and home address. Yes, that was how they were able to supposedly track Trump himself, even though they were tracking an individual that was by him. So, but through extension, yes, technically they did, but in reality, they weren't tracking him, because the Secret Service member could have been, on a different, I don't want to say assignment because he's part of the detachment, but he could be doing an assignment for that detachment and not be there. And you could just assume, because you see where his phone is, that he's automatically there with Trump. That's not how it works. The Times said it replicated the exercise and identified workers at numerous sensitive sites in Washington, D.C., including the Pentagon, the Supreme Court, and Capitol Hill. Yes, and they're going, orange man bad, let's take his phone away. This is more about Twitter than it is about national fucking security. Let's be honest. The ease with which non-experts at the Times could do this shows the extreme vulnerability in location data. Hostile states are almost certainly able to do far more. Okay. Let's just ignore the fact that every fucking American's being surveilled by these companies, but all right. Let's focus on orange, the bad orange man. The New York Times was able to track the precise movements of President Donald Trump by combining leaked location data with public information, showing the ease with which a phone's location can be turned into a spying tool, potentially compromising national security. Well, first off, they tracked, as I said, and you even admitted, a member of the Secret Service, and then they managed to say, okay, well, Trump's schedule says he's at Mar-a-Lago. This guy's at Mar-a-Lago. That doesn't always mean he's going to be at the same location as Trump. You're trying to conflate that, though, and say that Trump was actually tracked. And the idea is that, they don't like Trump with his phone. Look at the picture they're using. They don't want Trump on his fucking phone. They don't want him to be able to use Twitter. The Times said that it got the data from anonymous whistleblowers concerned about the vulnerability and lack of regulations, that it took only minutes to turn a massive anonymized data set with 50 billion location pings from the phones of more than 12 million people in the U.S. related to their movements in 2016 and 2017 into specific information on Trump. Well, it was specific information on a Secret Service member that happened to be around Trump at the time. Let's be honest. The Times said that it was able to track Trump using just one of these phones, that it repeated the exercise with phones belonging to people across secure parts of the U.S. government. And again, you're tracking someone else. It does not mean that they're necessarily going to be around Trump. Holy shit. The Trump-linked phone is believed to belong to a Secret Service agent in his entourage, the Times said. It pinged at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida before heading to two other golf clubs and then back to Mar-a-Lago. Those locations matched public information on Trump's activities at the time, the Times said. So what? That still does not mean you were physically tracking fucking Trump. You were tracking a Secret Service agent that was doing his job that happened to be at the same location as Trump. That's all. That's all the Times did. The Times said the phone also pinged at a nearby Secret Service field office and events with elected officials. Okay. So, not Trump. Obviously, Secret Service was he was attached to go to probably deal with those other officials and work on the security for them? Huh. So not Trump. The person's movements outside of work hours could also be tracked, the Times said, leading to a home address, a name, and identities of family members. The Times did not publish this information. The Times also said it could track people in locations like the White House, Capitol Hill, the Supreme Court, the Pentagon, military bases, and FBI headquarters, again leading to verifiable home addresses and names. Yeah, and no, you don't want to look at the fact of the underlying fucking problem. All these companies tracking the data, you're trying to put this on Trump. Like, oh, well, Trump could be observed because of the phones. You don't want to directly say it, but you're trying to use this to be like, well, Trump has got a phone on him and it's insecure. Well, looks to me like you haven't tracked Trump's phone. The only person's phone has been tracked is a member of the Secret Service. The Times observed that such data could lead to compromising information, like evidence of extramarital affairs or medical problems. So, if someone hires a PI and they find out that the spouse is cheating, you're against that? If they're sticking their dick someplace else or they're getting it filled by someone else, they kind of deserve that. I mean, it's not right, but on the same note, if the data isn't protected by law, they kind of get what they deserve. Just saying. You shouldn't be sticking your dick someplace it doesn't belong. Or you shouldn't be letting someone stick their dick where it doesn't belong. It's that simple. It said it found... I'm sorry. It said it found one person who was frequently in the Pentagon also made visits to a mental health and substance use facility. Yeah. And you don't think these lefty fucking Spurg reporters wouldn't take this type of information and use it to blackmail people and shit like that in this Trump fucking deranged day and age? Yeah, right. Insecure security practices have been the hallmark of the Trump administration. See, now we bring it back to Trump and him having his phone. The president's phone conversations have previously put national security at risk, and he did not use a secure phone to tweet until months into his presidency. Mar-a-Lago was also said to have lax security. So you got to bring Orange Man bad. Oh, but excuse me. How have Trump's phone conversations previously put national security at risk? Nowhere has he done that. Just blatant fucking accusation, which is going to come up with some bullshit fucking article 9 times. Trump's and the people around him have put national security at risk. Orange Man bad. This was put out November 14th. They're making a fucking case for this. I mean, look at this. The top U.S. revealed, overheard a loud phone conversation. Sondland was almost certainly spied on while talking to the president at the restaurant. This is all complete bullshit. This was already stuff that was looked at and basically said, complete bullshit. So 8 times, shadow policy and campaign in Ukraine. Oh, God. Ukraine. Withhold military aid. Bullshit. Okay. He didn't use a secure phone to tweet. So what? It's not like his shit's secure on Twitter itself. They claiming that Mar-a-Lago has lax security, which is complete bullshit. He tweeted a photo out from a classified briefing. So what? Obama and Hillary released a fucking staged photo from a supposedly classified briefing. This supposedly divulging classified information, which he has a legal right to do as the president. This idea that Rudy Giuliani somehow butt-dialing journalists. Yeah, okay. This idea that Trump has affinity for Russians and other U.S. adversaries. This is complete bullshit. And this is what they're using to back this up about, I've previously been a national security risk. Well, someone heard that someone said this, that someone's conversation was loud and they overheard it. This is such horse shit. And this idea, well, it's said that Mar-a-Lago has lax security. There's no proof of it. They're idiots. They think this is actually making a case to push their bullshit. However, the Times painted a picture of a problem that is not due to Trump's actions, but instead a nationwide and indeed international problem born of poor regulation, low public awareness, and unscrupulous private companies. See, so, did the Orange Man bad? Attack Orange Man? Now they go back to the fact that it's these companies' fault. But they had to attack Trump in this. We got to love that. This is Business Insider. They're supposed to be a business publication. And they spout this Orange Man bad bullshit. It's kind of funny. And this idea of low public awareness, I'm sorry, but when you approve an app being installed on your phone and it says access to location services, if you don't know that they're tracking you, you're a fucking idiot. And you deserve to be tracked. Like, supposedly unknowingly. You knew. You're an idiot. The result, the Times said, is that tracking and identifying people is easy, and that there is no regulation to stop the exchange of such data between different parties and companies for profit. Oh no. Experts warned the Times about the risk that such vulnerabilities could create for the U.S. and how they could be exploited by countries like Russia or China. Yeah, okay. And the same thing could be said about in their countries. Their people are going to be using the same exact fucking apps. It's a systematic problem by these companies. All right, and the thing is, this is what China's doing anyways with their own people. These companies, they follow the idea of the things that China does. You think this is not going to happen? Of course it's going to happen. They do the same exact shit, except they're profiting off of it. The idea is to sell the data. Come on now, get a clue. But anyway, what I'll do is if you're interested, I'm going to try to remember to put the link to this actual opinion piece from the New York Times in, and that way you can read it for yourselves. Where I went through the Business Insider article. Don't really need to link it, but yeah, I'll at least try to put the link to this article here in for you, so you can read it for yourselves and see where they're talking about how it's a problem with like a system. There's no laws to prevent things like this. People are allowing themselves to be tracked, and how easy it is to do it. And basically, look at the bigger picture with it. They just wanted to focus on the Orange Man bad part. And I mean, this is kind of an interesting read, looking at this going on. I mean, I understood that this was going on from the beginning. I mean, every time I've looked at an app and I've saw the location services, I went, yeah, I want to use the app. I guess I'm going to have to let them know where I am at all times. And a lot of times I'll leave my phone places where I don't care. You know, I'm not one of those people where it's physically attached to me. I don't care. So it doesn't bother me that much. If they know where I'm at work, they already know who I am. They could easily, through other means, find out where I work. If I'm at home, they could find out, they know who I am, you know, from like my Google services account or whatever else. There's a way for them to find out besides the location. They're going to figure out where I live anyways. So whatever. I mean, I don't like the idea of it, but don't have much of a choice. That's why if I could switch over to a Linux-based phone, like one that's running Purism, or that's the phone, but if it's a Linux-based phone like that's running Pure OS, you know, hey, that would be a different story. I'd have no problems with that. Not being tracked, physical kill switches on the microphone, you know, physical kill switches on the camera besides. I'd be fine with that. But then you don't have all the apps and shit. Not like I really need many apps. There's only a couple games I play and a couple other things. But anyways, I know. So it's just like, yeah, whatever. I deal with it. I don't like it. Most people, they don't pay attention. Well, a lot of people don't. But a lot of people do. And it's just accepted that you allow them to track you now. because no one in Congress stepped up for this. No one really cared in Congress. And the thing is you would think that with how easy it is to track people, and they could track where they go to their mistresses' houses, and, you know, they're on the note of the females, members of Congress that are cheating, you know, their man's homes or their hotels where they meet up, or the shady motels where they meet up to get their freak on. You would think that they'd go, oh shit, and they would be the first ones to want to have something passed. Oh, you would think. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.